Martin Luther said, if you want to change the world, take your pen and write. Hello, I am Juan Navarro. This is Advanced Quality Programs, and I invite you to explore the quality philosophies and concepts to apply them to our life.
Welcome to Advanced Quality Programs with Juan Navarro. In this podcast, we're going to dive deep into the world of quality and leadership philosophies that drive successful businesses and great leaders to actually apply them to your everyday life. So if you're ready to improve your life, one quality principle at a time, let's get started.
Many people have difficulties to distinguish between urgent and important. Even people who have been top managers or team leaders for years sometimes suffer from this complication in both their personal or professional lives. Understanding the difference between urgent and important can be a huge difference on the quality and productivity of your life. Urgent activities are mostly tasks or activities that have an immediate deadline or the deadline has passed. These do not need to consume a lot of time or effort, and it is not necessary that they are significant or have a significant impact in our lives. In fact, they can be very silly or without much of importance, but most of these become urgent because the person who is managing it has forgotten or postponed the deadline so long that this becomes an urgent situation. Important tasks, on the other hand, do not need to have a deadline. They are important because of the impact they have in our life. Again, these do not need to consume a lot of time or efforts, and many of them do not require to be done right away, but the significance is the key. The organization of tasks normally is based on deadlines. To decide which tasks are important will be relative to every single person's need and circumstances. In other words, urgency is driven by external factors and pressure that the person is facing. Deciding the importance of the task is an exercise of self-evaluation. The added dimension to this difference is that some tasks can become urgent and are also important. Now, to understand the difference, use one example. If you know that you might be a person that has a cholesterol-related risk problem, and you put off your doctor's visit for a better time, or to have your analysis and checkup for a better time. This should be especially important for you or your family. But when you have health-related issues like a stroke or a heart attack, that is automatically urgent and important. It was important in the beginning, and if you had done that check on time, it would have been just one of those things on your to-do list, but they become urgent when you ignore to do it when it's possible. You forgot to have your regular check on a deadline. The easiest way to make sure an important task is urgent is to create a deadline. A deadline is actually what makes the activity urgent. Having to deal with them right away makes this sense of urgency. Lack of deadlines is also often what makes an important task to have a lack of urgency. Good planners and leaders know how to balance these two principles. Now, simply setting deadlines for important tasks do not actually make them urgent or serious. So, how to make these meaningful? So now, how do we make our deadlines meaningful? The first step is to make them public. One way to make our deadlines more serious is to declare them publicly. And when they are public, we are more accountable for those deadlines because now we are saying everybody that we are going to do one thing. The second step is to create rewards or punishments. If we have a deadline that we would like to be taken serious or take more accountability, we can give us a reward for a success or a punishment for a failure. That will set this kind of urgency within our goals. The third step is to create or assign responsibilities. When it comes to holding others accountable for deadlines, such as our team members, it is important to make them realize how important these deadlines are to us. Missed deadlines should not be tolerated. And this means that we actually need to review them and having these difficult conversations when the deadlines are not met. And finally, we can set some constant reminders. It's very easy to miss one deadline unless we have a constant reminder. So urgent tasks often are created with a built-in reminder. So we have a calendar tag. So we have one reminder in our phone, whatever. So something that keeps you on track. Finally, think about it. Not everything is urgent. So a good recommendation is to evaluate between what is really important, what has impact on your life, what has a good significance and will bring you further on your projects, on your tasks, on your life, and what doesn't really need to be completed now. Not every deadline should be important, but everything that you set up a deadline for should be important, should be your priority. So understand the difference and you will be living a less stressful life and be more proactive. That was all for this week. If you enjoyed that video and find it useful, don't forget to hit like. I will appreciate all of your comments and your subscription to the channel. I leave you with a quote from William George Ward. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects the wind to change. The realist adjusts the sails. Don't forget to hit the bell and see you next week.
One small change triggers everything. Watch how agile thinking works. Inspect, adapt, repeat. Each step builds the next, creating confident, unstoppable momentum. This is the Quality Mindset by Juan Navarro. Get your copy now.